Good morning, everybody. Today we will be doing lesson 23 for Wit and Wisdom. And today you will need your vocabulary packet because you will need two papers from there. The first one is the story map. It's named Lesson 23 Story Map, and it says Module 4 on the top right corner. Okay? It reads characters, setting, problem, events, and resolution. So that's the first sheet that you will need. Remember, we're doing lesson 23 and it says lesson 23 at the top. You will need the one behind that one, which is a deep dive conventional spelling worksheet. And it says deep dive conventional spelling. And it reads, what is wrong? And at the bottom right corner, it reads Module 4, Lesson 23. So you will need those two sheets of paper, those two worksheets, and a pencil. If you don't have them, go ahead and click pause and go get them. Okay, now that you have your stuff with you, well, thank you for coming back and seeing the next lesson. Aren't you excited? It's Thursday. You will have a 3-day weekend. There is no online school tomorrow. So that makes you have a 3-day weekend. Okay, boys and girls, let's go ahead and start. So our questions for Module 4, essential question. Why do people admire Cinderella? Focusing question. Why do people admire Adelita and Pear Blossom? Content framing question. What is happening in the Korean Cinderella? And our craft question. How do I organize an opinion paragraph? Welcome. So let's refresh our memory a little bit about reading. What skill do we work on when we practice reading at an even speed and with expression? Think big. Get ready. If you said fluency, you were right. If you were thinking about it, good job. All right, let's continue. So our content framing question, what is happening in the Korean Cinderella? We will answer that question at the end of today's lesson. And let me ask you, boys and girls, what graphic organizer do we use to help us know what is happening in a story? Let me go ahead and refresh your memory. We use a graphic organizer where we write down different things from a story so we can know what exactly is happening in a story. Do you know what graphic organizer that is? If you do, say it. Get ready? Yes, it's a story map. Can everybody say story map? Get ready? All right. So what story elements do we include on a story map? Do you know any? Can you name any? Let's see. Characters. We need to know the characters on a story map. The setting, where the story takes place. There can be more than one setting. Events. What are the important events in a story? Our problem. What is wrong in the story? What's the problem? And a resolution. How was that problem fixed? I'm going to give you a few moments to think about the characters and setting of the story before we share. So close your eyes. Everybody close your eyes. And think back to the story of the Korean Cinderella. Who are the characters in that story? Think of them. Open your eyes. Let's see if you were right. Pear Blossom, definitely main character, right? The father, the magistrate, stepmother, and stepsister. Now let's think about the setting. Close your eyes. Where was Pear Blossom in this story? What's the setting, boys and girls? Open your eyes. Well, it took place long ago in a village in Korea. It took place in Pear Blossom's house. and the magistrate's house. So we have those right there. Now let me give you a few moments to think about the problem. Everybody, close your eyes. If you want to. If not, you can think about it like that with your eyes open. What do you think was the problem? The problem was that the evil stepmother, Amoni, is jealous of Pear Blossom and gives her impossible things to do to try to get rid of her. Ooh, she doesn't like Pear Blossom. Let's continue. So now we will discuss the events to add to our partial story map. Our partial story map is the story map I said you were going to need. The one that reads Lesson 23 story map. Okay? It's partial because only part of it is filled in. We're going to add the resolution, events, and the conclusion to this story map, okay? So, if you see on the screen, it looks exactly like the one you have with you. We already talked about who were the characters, what was the setting, what's the problem. Now we're going to write in some events from the story. Okay, the main three events, what happened first, what happened next, what happened then, all right? And then our resolution. So let's talk a little bit about what happened first. So we already know the problem. Amoni, Pear Blossom's stepmother, is jealous of Pear Blossom and gives her impossible things to do to get rid of her. So first, Pear Blossom's mom dies. Her dad remarries Amoni, and Amoni is cruel to Pear Blossom. That's the first important event that happened in this story. Next, Amoni gives Pear Blossom hard things to do. She starts treating her bad. A magical frog, sparrow, and ox help her so she can go to the festival. Then, Pear Blossom runs away when she sees the magistrate on the way to the festival. She leaves behind a straw sandal. And our resolution is the happy ending. What happened at the end? The magistrate finds Pear Blossom and gives her the matching straw sandal. Pear Blossom and the magistrate get married. So these were the important events from the story. Okay? You will need the story map on our next slide to retell the story to someone at home. So, click pause on my video and fill in your story map. I'm sorry, I know it's a little bit hard to read the red letters. I tried my best putting them to align them, but it was the best I could do. Okay? Go ahead and click pause and finish filling in your lesson 23 story map. When you're done, click play. All right. So now that you organize the story map, it's time to retell the story to a partner. Okay? Why is it important to retell a story? It's important because we put our thoughts in order. When we read a book and we're able to retell a story, we're practicing how to put thoughts in order. Okay? For example, if I were to retell this story, I would use my story map, and my story map helps me because I have things written down in the order they happened. So I want you to go ahead and you can click pause and retell the story to someone at your home. If you're not with someone right now and you're watching the video by yourself, don't forget to retell the story to someone later on. Get your story map and say, Mom, Dad, brother, sister, cousin, aunt, uncle, I'm going to retell you the story that we're doing right now in Wit and Wisdom. Okay, you can start off with what happened. Who are the characters, where it happened. You can go ahead and tell them what was the problem, exactly how everything happened, and then the happy ending, the resolution. Okay, so let's move on. Our deep dive, our vocabulary. Sometimes when we are writing, we want to use words that are difficult to spell. Now, what resources could you use to help you spell words? Think of some. What things could help you? What can you go to when you want to spell a word correctly? What can you use? Think big. Name any resources you can think of. Get ready? I can't hear you, but I'm going to click enter and see if maybe some of the ones that I wrote down are the ones that you were thinking of, okay? So in school, we had a word wall in our classroom, right? Anytime that you felt you wanted to use a specific word that we have learned, a vocabulary word that we recently learned, and you wanted to write it or use it in your writing, you would look at the word wall and look at different words, and that would help you spell that word correctly. We also had classroom charts that we used. Those classroom charts helped us spell words correctly. You can use books. You can refer back to a book and use a word from that book. You can use the internet, right? Nowadays, mostly everybody uses the internet. And that can also help you spell a word correctly or look for the correct way to spell a word. You can also use a dictionary. Okay, we are going to do this practice together. It's a deep dive. I'm going to read the sentences below. The underlined word is misspelled. Okay? Now, number 1. Jack will go to the dentist on Monday. Monday is misspelled. Do you know the right way to spell Monday? If you do, spell it out with me. I would write Monday right here on this line the right way. Okay? I'm going to spell it out correctly. Spell it out with me. Get ready. If you know it. If not, you can listen carefully. M, capital M. Monday is a pronoun. Capital M-O-N-D-A-Y. The next one. Cinderella lost her glass slipper at the ball. We know Cinderella is misspelled, right? Does Cinderella start with a capital S? Get ready. No. We need to change that capital S to a capital C. Let's go to number 3. I like summer because we do not have school. Now, I tried writing those words in my whiteboard the right way to show you. But when I do that, they look backwards on my camera. Okay? So, because would actually be spelled B-E-C-A-U-S-E. Because. And that's what we would write on the line if you had this paper with you. Number 4. Can you tell me where the bathroom is? Where? That is not the right way to spell where. Where would be W-H-E-R-E. Where? W-H-E-R-E. Number 5. What do you like to eat? What would be capital W-H-A-T. We would change the U to an A. Number 6. Pear Blossom is a Korean Cinderella. Oh, wait a minute. That is not how we spell Korean. Korean would be capital K-O-R-E-A-N. Korean. Okay? Right. Now, our land. Today's content framing question was, what is happening in the Korean Cinderella? Well, what did we do to answer that question? How did we find out what was happening in the story? Yes. What did we do? We used a, get ready, story map. Yes. We used a story map to organize the different elements of the Korean Cinderella to help us with retelling what happened in the story. Your exit ticket. In this next activity, you're going to go on a scavenger hunt. Okay? You have a worksheet with you, the one that's right behind your story map. And this is the worksheet that's going to be your exit ticket. It has sentences with misspelled words. You will look for resources during the scavenger hunt to help you spell the words correctly. If you have any books at home, any dictionaries, or the internet, that can help you find the correct way to spell these misspelled words. When you are done, take a picture and upload on the assignment tab. Okay, the assignment tab is going to say April 9, 2020, Wit&Wisdom exit ticket. Okay? Thank you, boys and girls. I hope you enjoy your 3-day weekend. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. Bye.